Aontú leader Peadar Toibin, do we have you?
Yes, indeed. I'm here.
Good. What is your problem with the redevelopment of Dublin's GPO?
Well, first of all, I think we have to understand the significance of the GPO Moore Street area. It is a national monument. It's probably the most important battlefield in the whole of the country. It's so important, obviously, because it was the headquarters of the 1916 rising.
I think we all know the importance of the GPO. What's your problem with the redevelopment of it, Peadar?
Well, first of all, it's not being redeveloped in sympathy with the value of the GPO site. So, for example, if you go to countries such as in Amsterdam and you look at the Anne Frank Museum and you see how those buildings have been preserved so that people can have a physical connection with the history of their country and obviously how popular they are as a result of it, you can see what can be done in the likes of Moore Street and the GPO area.
Okay, but my understanding, sorry about that, my understanding of the GPO is that the bit that goes all the way back to Arnott's, that's not the original GPO. The only part of the GPO that's the original is the front bit and the front walkway. That's the only part of the original GPO still standing. And there's no plans to change that.
Well, the difficulty I have here, first of all, is trust in the government's plans. First of all, Moore Street was supposed to be completely redeveloped and preserved for 1916. And here we are basically 10 years later, and Moore Street is falling into dereliction.
Yeah, I know. But let's just stick with the GPO. What is your difficulty with the redevelopment of a bit that isn't actually the original GPO?
I would like for the GPO to be repurposed to reflect the objectives of the Proclamation of the Republic. I believe that, if we're going to show respect and honour to the men and women of 1916, and remember that the ministers today owe their sovereignty and ability to be a minister because of the sacrifice in that building.
Yeah, I think everyone accepts that, Peadar. You're not answering my question. What's your problem with the redevelopment of it? The bit that isn't actually the original GPO?
I believe we should redevelop it in a manner in which it basically seeks to achieve the objectives of that proclamation. In other words, to use it to develop the All-Ireland economy, the All-Ireland Health Service, to use it to develop the cultural history of this state. And this is
what
the problem.
What does that mean, Peadar? Sorry, I don't know what you mean. Like, there's going to be the 1916 museum is going to be left there. It's going to be intact. What's wrong? What are they doing wrong? I still don't understand.
It's not enough, Shane. It's not nearly enough. It's not nearly touching the opportunity that exists in the building and in the area whatsoever. We can achieve far more in relation to, first of all, allowing people to celebrate and experience the absolutely transformative actions that happened in that location. And the idea that that location would be shared potentially with chippers and shops and discount stores.
I don't think there's a plan for a chipper or a discount store.
Well, listen, right now on Moore Street, the plans were for it to be fixed by 2016. Currently, it's a location for alcohol, drug taking, and defecating on that particular street. And the government's actual commercial plans for that are for some of the buildings of that.
It's been caught in limbo because of Jackson. All right, look. You're playing politics with this, really, aren't you? And you're playing the green card on it as well. A bit of fireside republicanism.
I was a member of the Moore Street Consultative Forum for at least 3 years. I put in painstaking work to see could we actually bring that location back into use. The very fact that the government has tried to bring that area, went to court to try and stop it being a national monument, to try and stop it being recognised for the historical value that it is. I actually think the reason why the government don't respect those locations is because they actually don't respect the actions that took place there in the first place.
But that's nonsense, Peadar, and that is playing politics. That is playing politics with this, and that is fireside. Sorry,
Shane.
What evidence is there that they don't respect 1916? Both those parties, no more than Sinn Féin or your own party, emanated from 1916. So it's nonsense to say they don't understand.
Well, first of all, the evidence is very clear because there's practically no other European country that would actually treat its cultural heritage, its physical connection to its foundation in such a poor manner as this government has. You look, for example, the house of the O'Rahilly in Herbert Park. It was demolished by this government. They're looking to demolish part of Moore Street, and also now they're looking to commercialise.
First of all, it wasn't the government that demolished the house at the O'Rahilly, but we're not going to get into the O'Rahilly house now.
It was the government that get permission, because I raised this. I raised this with the Taoiseach, and I raised it with the Minister for Heritage in advance of that building being demolished, and they stood idly by and allowed for the process to happen. And then afterwards said it shouldn't happen. So the key point I have here, Shane, this is important. No other European country would treat its heritage, its buildings of importance, its connection with the past, its opportunity for cultural centres and quarters so poorly. And, we just need to take a leaf out of the other countries in Europe and how they celebrate these locations to see what we should do with the GPO.
Aontú leader Peadar Toibin, thank you for talking to Newstalk Breakfast.